Hello everybody and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for the 2005 NASCAR NR2003 season here for the Daytona 500, where today we are going to crown ourselves the Daytona 500 champion. Will Kevin Harvick go for the three-peat, or will we have a new Daytona 500 winner? We will see as Scott Riggs and Jeff Gordon lead us to the green as we are underway in the Daytona 500 in our 2005 and 2003 season. Scott Riggs from the pole out to the advantage. Behind him is your defending champion Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to find his way up there, as well as the 24 of Jeff Gordon, who is so close to getting himself into the championship for last season. Just missed out, ended up finishing 6th in the final point stage. But here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr., your defending champion, going for the race lead of the Daytona 500 as the crowd goes wild. Dale Jr. will take to the lead here in the 500 on the inside. Scott Riggs behind him. You got Tony Stewart, Sterling Marlin making runs. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the cars with the orange roof numbers and spoilers are a little thing I added here for a little bit of fun. It's almost like the Noble 5 challenge that NASCAR ran in real life back in 2001. We're doing it here. We're calling it the Nextel 5 challenge. And these are the top 5 finishers from Talladega last season are eligible. So Stewart, Johnson, so on and so forth. Now it's got Dale Drew, Scott Riggs going through the grass. Can they hang on to it? They're keeping their foot in it. Full set through the grass, and they saved it. What a save for Dale Jr. and Scott Riggs. They somehow hang on to those race cars as they went full throttle through the grass, kept the pace up, and saved as Jeff Gordon is gone up there. He is a huge leader of Scott Riggs and Jimmy Johnson now. And now behind us, they're stacking up 3 wide, multiple rows. There goes Sterling Marlin around. The 40 is spinning. We got multiple cars going around here down the backstretch. 2, 3 cars spinning. There's Kurt Busch around. Carl Edwards hard hit. There is Kane. The 23 is Skinner. A huge crash as the big one strikes on lap 2 of the Daytona 500. Robbie Gordon, Casey Kane, 2 of our Nextel 5 challenge drivers involved in this incident. The rookie Carl Edwards is destroyed. Kurt Busch, his car is ruined. Mike Skinner in the 23. Sterling Marlin went around but saved it, so he'll be okay. But hard hits for Casey Kane, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, the 23 of Skinner. Now we're going to go look at this from the onboard camera shortly. But first we got a view of this from Kurt Busch. We go slow-mo replay. See all 3 Roush cars all together, and Mark just turns up into Sterling Marlin, turns him around, sends Tony spinning in front of the pack. Kurt gets turned around, and from there, we're all spinning across the racetrack. The track gets blocked. Mark Martin somehow, look at all the guys barely negotiating. Carl Edwards right there in that middle until unlucky Casey Kane gets drilled with Mike Skinner. They get spun around. They get destroyed. The Kenny Wallace slams into Carl Edwards, and then boom, Robbie Gordon, who thought he had a shot. The Nextel 5 is now destroyed in that number 7 Harris Chevrolet from that hit right there. Now we're going to go the Sharpie onboard camera here with the 97 of Kurt Busch. So there he's got turned around, sent down low, and he got drilled right here from the side. I thought that the 23 right there of Skinner sent him spinning. So Kurt Busch goes around here in the 500. And we're going to look to see who else here. We go. The next onboard camera will be the Coors Light onboard here with the 40 of Sterling Marlin, former Daytona 500 winner, not having a good run early as he gets spun around. Nearly collected Tony Stewart, but look at this save by Marlin. He kept his foot in it, saved it, keeps going. He's back in the game. Now we're going to go to the U.S. Army on board here with the 01 of Joe Nemechek, as he got a little bit of damage, but was mostly fine from this incident. See them all spinning in front of him. And he just runs into the nose of Kurt Busch right there, but he keeps his foot in it. He keeps going. He's fine as well. Now we're going to go to the Viagra onboard camera here with the 6 of Mark Martin, who is right in the thick of this incident. Somehow got through unscathed. Dodges his teammate Kurt Busch in the 47 miles. His team in the background is absolutely wrecking it and destroying themselves back there. So the next car we're going to go on board with is going to be the 9 of Casey Kane. This one's going to hurt, folks, as he gets quite the hit here from Carl Edwards. Right there, drills him. He's trying to get through and he drills him. Also in there was 23 Mike Skinner, and Casey Kane is destroyed in the Daytona 500 as he actually didn't make the race last season. So this is actually Casey Kane's first Daytona 500. He will crash out. Now we're going to go to Harris on board with Robbie Gordon, now driving for his own team, Robbie Gordon Motorsports, one of our Nextel 5 challenge drivers. Right there, when he decided to go low to try to avoid it, he drills the 99 of Carl Edwards. That'll put an end to his day. Now we're going to go the Chevrolet onboard camera here, the 23 of Mike Skinner, as he gets collected in this incident. Almost made through, just got clipped there at the end, slammed into Kurt Busch and went for a spin to the inside, but Skinner will be done. So now this one's going to be the hardest hits of them all. We're going to go with the Office Depot onboard camera with rookie Carl Edwards in the 99 for Roush Racing. So right there, 3, 4, 5 hard hits for Carl Edwards, and you actually saw at the beginning of that he actually may have been the cause of this, as he came down just a little bit and clipped Mark Martin, turned him up into Sterling Marlin. That's what caused this whole mess. We have a final look at this big one striking here in the Daytona 500, 2 laps in. Multiple good cars taken out, including Carl Edwards, Robbie Gordon, Casey Kane, the 23. Sterling Marlin also involved, Kurt Busch in it as well. Back at the front, the cars that survived. Jeff Gordon's going to lead his Hendrick teammate Jimmy Johnson here in the Daytona 500. Now we're going to get back underway here. A few restarts on lap number 16 is Jimmy Johnson alongside Elliott Sadler on the front row as we get back underway here at Daytona. Of course, Elliott Sadler, 4-time winner last season. Those are all of his 4 career wins so far. All came last season. Had a great job right there. Now he's out here leading, trying to continue his success from last season here in 2005. Of course, he ended up being shockingly eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, the round of 12. And did not have a strong end of the season. Behind him is defending regular season champion Jimmy Johnson in the 48 for Hendrick Motorsports. Here comes Jimmy Johnson going for the lead of the Daytona 500. Got help from Scott Riggs, who was pretty strong in this race last season, as Johnson will now take the lead for Hendrick Motorsports here at the Daytona 500. Each of his seasons, each of Jimmy's now 4 career seasons, he has led laps in the Daytona 500. And that streak will continue today. Back here, got a lot of guys off the pace. Harvick, Dale Jr., Truex, McMurray, Kurt Busch, all stuck right there behind the lap car. Kenny Wallace, who's damaged, really holding them up. As back to front is still Jimmy Johnson controlling the lines now, blocking both the 10 of Scott Riggs and that new RCR entry, the 07 Jack Daniels Chevrolet, driven by Dave Blaney. Full-time this season behind him, you got Bobby Hamilton Jr., who replaced Ricky Craven in the 32 midway through last season and earned the ride this year. Almost going 3 wide behind us. Jimmy Johnson now driving away with the race lead, trying to block all 3 of Blaney, Riggs, and Bobby Hamilton as he works his way down this backstretch. Johnson comfortably in control. Here comes Hamilton making it 3 wide for third. Scott Riggs trying to make a move for the race lead. He goes high. Johnson still covering off a very fast race car. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson has today for this Daytona 500. He's got Riggs second, Hamilton third, Sadler fourth. How about Kyle Petty finding himself in 5th place as Jimmy Johnson leads the Daytona 500, 18 laps in. And now we move on here to lap 25. Rusty Wallace is leading the pack. We got 3 wide all throughout here racing. Actually, Rusty's part of the second pack. Sorry, there's a lead pack up ahead of him right now. They're battling it out for the lead. Rusty actually is there now. Here we go. 4 wide nearly. Stuart Mayfield counted John Andretti. Jeremy Mayfield into it. Around goes Andretti into the wall. He collects Mayfield, Wimmer, Mears, and Marlin in a big wreck into turn 3 at Daytona. And Boris Said is upside down. As a big crash here in turn 3 in the Daytona 500. John Andretti, Jeremy Mayfield, 4 wide racing nearly, with Tony Stewart trying to stick his nose in there. They go crashing, take out 2 fast Ganassi Dodges, and Marlin and Mears. Scott Wimmer's because it's right there. They went down low. The Mayfield trying to merge back up, cleans out John Andretti, taking out the Ganassi duo of Marlin and Mears, collecting the innocent Scott Wimmer. Everyone else getting back again, checked up, avoiding this straight reverse. Kevin Harvick gets a piece there. He gets into Dale Jr., avoiding the vigorous descent. Boris Said clips Andretti and gets flipped upside down by Mike Bliss, your Southern 500 winner from last season. As the 90 takes the 40, Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart both barely avoid that crash. There's multiple close calls, but a hard crash. And watch the 36 of Boris Said. He gets tipped upside down and lands on his roof in turn 4, the end of Boris Said's day here in the Daytona 500. Truex and Mike Wallace went full send through the grass and saved it. But we got to replay this. You saw Kevin Harvick and Ken Schrader afterwards. He got into Dale Jr. Somehow they both saved it right there. Avoided crashing. Of course, Harvick, your 2-time defending Daytona 500 champion. Earnhardt, your defending series champion. They both got by. At the front, though, it is still that 48 car. Jimmy Johnson leading the way. Now Scott Riggs is leading over Elliott Sadler and the rookie of Kyle Busch here on lap 33 at the Daytona Daytona 500 is Busch, Riggs, and Souther fighting for the lead. Jeff Gordon right there. How about the 11 of Jason Leffler, that new JGR entry? The number 11 FedEx Chevy, currently driven by Jason Leffler. Now we're 3 wide for the lead. Souther, Riggs, and here comes Kyle Busch, the rookie out of Las Vegas, Nevada, going to the race lead. But here comes the 11 of Jason Leffler, who's inside. And they are 4 wide for the lead here at Daytona. They're risking it all here early in this race. Kyle Busch, Scott Riggs, Jason Leffler, Elliott Souther in the corner. This Scotty around goes Scott Riggs into the wall. He collects Elliott Souther, and they're crashing through turn 4, 4 wide. That's not going to work. And here comes LePage. Absolutely ARCA breaks the life out of Scott Riggs and Bobby Labonte. A huge hit right there from Kevin LePage, who I guess doesn't know how to use his brake pedal because he went full send through there. But this incident, slow-mo replay, just 4 wide, getting too tight. Scott Riggs trying to hold down Kyle Busch. He gets turned, takes Elliott Souther. Jimmy Johnson somehow gets through that unscathed. Rusty Wallace gets a piece of it. And then behind us, Bobby Labonte's just trying to avoid. He checks up here to avoid. He does a great job checking up. Looks like he's going to make it through the incident right here. And then Kevin LePage, bang! Flying in ARCA brakes. Takes himself out as well as Labonte and Riggs. As just 4 wide, not going to work right there. Kyle Busch, the rookie, takes out Scott Riggs and Elliott Souther, collecting Bobby Labonte, and of course Kevin LePage, bang, found a way to get involved. Full send ARCA brake, wipes himself out. Classic Kevin LePage moment. And a lot of good cars taken out in that crash right there. It's back at the front. It is Kyle Busch leading the Daytona 500. Now Tony Stewart is leading the way here on lap 58. 3 to go in stage one. He's leading over Martin Truex and Kyle Petty. Look out, lap traffic. Greg Biffle, Joe Nemechek, and Mike Bliss are holding up now. Stewart, Petty, Truex, McMurray, Martin, Newman, and Mike Wallace, their leaders. Stewart and Kyle Petty using the high lane. Go back. How about Kyle Petty all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack to get by Tony Stewart? Kyle Petty trying to take the lead and win a stage here at the Daytona 500, and he's going underneath Nemechek now. Kyle Petty 3 wide for the lead with Tony Stewart and the lapper of Nemechek as Kyle Petty takes the lead away into turn 4 with help from Ryan Newman now, who joins him 1-2. Kyle Petty, Newman going to drive off here to the lead for the stage win. Stewart stuck behind Mike Bliss. They got blockers behind them, and now it looks like it's going to be down to Kyle Petty versus Ryan Newman for the stage 1 win with 2 to go in stage 1 in the Daytona 500. And now we move on to the last lap of the stage. And Newman got around Kyle Petty for the race lead, but Kyle Petty still got room to make around him. The pack, Stewart's behind there. The pack is stuck with those lap cars, so it's down to Newman and Kyle Petty unless Stewart can get a run and try to pass him right at the line, but he'll need a lot of help to do that. Behind us, everybody else still fighting out for position due to the lap cars of Mike Bliss, you know, playing an influence on this stage finish. Now Kyle Petty, the inside of Ryan Newman, going for the lead in the stage win. Here comes Kyle Petty, looking for a last lap of the stage pass for the playoff point. Those 10 stage points so important as you go throughout the season. Kyle Petty dives to the inside of Ryan Newman, now side by side, side drafting through 3 and 4. Stewart gaining, but Kyle Petty takes the lead now on the exit of turn 4 for the final time in stage 1 at Daytona as they race back to the line. Stewart runs out of time, but Kyle Petty will win stage 1 at Daytona, followed by Newman, Stewart, Burton, Mark Martin, Bobby Hamilton, Kyle Busch, Mike Wallace, Truex, and Dave Blaney are top 10. So Kyle Petty gets his first stage win of the year. And how big wreck upside down is a 97 of Kurt Busch here on lap 76. Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Green, Martin Truex also involved. Here at the Rusty Wallace T-boned Kurt Busch, who's already crashing, launched him upside down on his lid, crashing hard. Coming out of turn 2, we got a replay of how this happened. We got to catch the very beginning of this, and we just like it's 4 wide here. Basically, McMurray goes wrong as Kurt Busch pushes up into Jimmy Johnson. They make contact. They spin right into Jeff Green and Martin Truex. Kenny Wallace also goes head on to the outside wall. Hard hit for Kenny. And then Kurt Busch slides down the racetrack right into the path of Rusty Wallace in his final Daytona 500. Boom! Destroys Kurt Busch, sends him up and over, and Kurt eventually flips back onto all 4 wheels down the backstretch, but his car is destroyed. Just 4 wide, does not work here at Daytona. Hard crash involving 6 drivers here in the Daytona 500, including multiple of the favorites: Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace. We're expected to do very well today. Now all the damaged race cars at the front. The cars that survived that incident who are still going. Right now it looks like it'll be Bobby Hamilton Jr. leading Ryan Newman and Kyle Busch as we work our way through stage 2 of the Daytona 500. Now here we are, 2 to go in stage 2. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the lead, looking for his first ever stage win. McMurray, Mike Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are 3 wide for second. Kyle Busch lurking in 5th, but look out, lap traffic. Mike Bliss and Jeff Green. Hamilton Jr. negotiates them perfectly as they move out of the way. He goes low, as does Wallace, Earnhardt Jr., and Busch. They all go low, and they're going to start training by the 42 of Jamie McMurray now, who got stuck right there behind those lap cars. He'll drop down to 5th. He's currently our top next L5 Challenge driver, followed by Tony Stewart back in 7th. And now Bobby Hamilton Jr. trying to hang on to the stage win. Mike Wallace wants it as well, as do some of our playoff contenders of Dale Earnhardt Jr., defending champion, and the rookie of Kyle Busch, who's had a very strong run. But Hamilton leads the way here. Last lap of stage 2 at Daytona. They're catching now 2-time defending champion Kevin Harvick, about to go 1 lap down in 15th, and they got him. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is going to put Kevin Harvick, your defending Daytona 500 champion, 1 lap down. It does not look like the 3-peat is going to happen today. And we'll have to wait at 30 Daytona 500. We'll have to wait for another time as Hamilton Jr. now continues to lead. Mike Wallace second. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. into second. He dives to the inside of Mike Wallace for that second spot into 3 and 4. He's got help from Jamie McMurray, who makes a move on Kyle Busch for 4th, as they are now side by side, 2 rows deep behind Bobby Hamilton Jr., who's got all the room that he needs as they race back to the line to complete the stage. Bobby Hamilton Jr. will get his first career stage win, winning stage 2 at Daytona. Earnhardt second, Mike Wallace third, McMurray 4th, Kyle Busch 5th. 6th place can go to the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Tony Stewart is going to be 7th, Kyle Petty 8th. Travis Quaffle in his debut 9th, and Dave Blaney is the last stage point as Bobby Hamilton Jr. wins stage 2. Now we move on here. There's 10 laps to go in the Daytona 500. The rookie Travis Quaffle in his debut leading, but now here comes the veteran Jeff Gordon, the 4-time champion, going for the race lead with help from now his new teammate, the 5 of Kyle Busch, having an incredible first Daytona 500 here in his rookie season, running in second. Hamilton is in this pack. Kyle Petty, Jeff Burton, Tony Stewart all in contention. It's a 7-car battle for the win at Daytona. Here we go, 9 laps to go in the Daytona 500. Jeff Gordon is leading the way. Kyle Busch is second as they race their way here at Daytona. Gordon and Kyle Busch side by side for the lead here with just 9 laps to go. Here comes the rookie Kyle Busch trying to get his first career win in the Daytona 500. What a moment it would be if he could get it done. Watch out for Boris Said. They all negotiate him safely. Oh, he's going to stack up Jeff Gordon. He holds up Gordon, Quaffle, and Jeff Burton. Allows Dave Blaney to get back in the game. Stewart goes by, but now 4 guys all stuck behind Boris Said. A costly mistake there. Lap traffic really interfering with this. Now is Bobby Hamilton Jr. who powers into the lead, getting ahead of the 5 of Kyle Busch, and here comes the 45 of Kyle Petty underneath him as they are now battling for the race lead here with just 8 laps to go at Daytona. Bobby Hamilton Jr. leads, but here comes Kyle Petty trying to break through and win in the car that his son should be driving right now. Adam, unfortunately, he passed away in 2001, but Kyle Petty trying to redemption, get his career back on track with a huge Daytona 500 win to join his father, Richard Petty, a 7-time Daytona 500 champion, by far the most of anybody on the Daytona 500 wins list. But Bobby Hamilton Jr., this is his chance to prove to teams that he deserves this 32 car with a win. Kyle Busch behind him there in second, the rookie, fresh in that cup ride for Hendrick Motorsports, trying to prove that he belongs with champions like Jeff Gordon and the very fast Jimmy Johnson, who was almost a champion last season. And now Busch to the inside of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Here comes Kyle Busch, looking for the lead of the Daytona 500 with just 7 laps to go. He's going to get to the inside of Hamilton for that position as they work their way into turn 1. He's going to help from Kyle Petty. Look out, the lap car of Greg Biffle going to play a factor as Busch dives low here into 1 and 2. Kyle Busch is going to take the lead as all the other guys get stuck behind Greg Biffle. Busch now driving away as we move on now to just 4 laps to go. Kyle Busch leading for his first ever win, as is Travis Quaffle in his debut in second. And here goes Quaffle looking for the lead and the 77. Travis Quaffle will take the lead of the Daytona 500 with just 3 laps to go with help from Tony Stewart, who's looking for his first Daytona 500 win as well. And now it's a 3-way battle into turn 1, 2. Stewart to the inside, now trying to power in the lead. Kyle Busch in third is going to dictate who prevails. Whoever he gets behind is going to have that momentum as he can power into the race lead. Busch decides to stay high, follow Travis Quaffle, not help out Tony Stewart. And now Travis Quaffle in his debut race for that 77 team and his rookie season is leading the Daytona 500, coming to 2 laps to go. Here comes Kyle Petty. Stewart got stuck on the bottom. Jeff Gordon's going with him. They're going to be side by side for third on back, but it's Kyle Busch versus Travis Quaffle now, coming to 2 to go. Here comes Busch. Kyle Busch to the inside of Travis Quaffle, looking to win his first career race in the Daytona 500. Both are trying to do that now. 2 to go. Quaffle leads Busch second. Kyle Petty, Jeff Burton both trying to break long winless streaks are battling it out for third, but look out, the lap car, Martin Truex Jr. is going to play a factor. He's going to go down low and block Kyle Busch. There goes Travis Quaffle and Kyle Petty. They are off to the races. Everyone else stacked up behind Truex, and now it's a two-horse race for this win. Quaffle ahead, Kyle Petty in second. Now here goes Kyle Petty for the race lead coming to the white flag. Both drivers would be an incredible turn of events if they could win this Daytona 500. It would break an incredibly long winless streak for Kyle Petty, and it would be Travis Quaffle winning in his debut, which is unheard of, as Kyle Petty now takes the lead coming to the white flag here at Daytona. The Daytona 500 will come down to a two-car battle. White flag, final lap presented by Credit One Bank. The Daytona 500, Kyle Petty leads. Travis Quaffle second. Everyone else might be too far back. Kyle Busch leading that group of cars back in third, but he's still mixing it up with Jeff Burton. Can Kyle Petty hold on, or can Travis Quaffle steal his first career win in his debut and no bigger race in the Daytona 500? It is a Dodge battle now. It is just two Dodges left fighting it out. Now down the backstretch final time. Good momentum here for Travis Quaffle. What will he do into 3 and 4? He'll swing low. There goes Quaffle trying to take the win away from Kyle Petty on the final lap. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Side by side for the win of the Daytona 500. Travis Quaffle is clear of Kyle Petty as they come to the Tri-Oval for the final time. It is going to be the upset. Travis Quaffle wins the Daytona 500 in his debut. Kyle Petty runner-up. Kyle Busch third. Fourth place will go to Jeff Burton. Dave Blaney as their top 5. Jeff Gordon was 6th. Tony Stewart 7th. The battle for 8th now is between Jamie McMurray and Ryan Newman, as Tony Stewart has won the Nextel 5 challenge here in the Daytona 500, gets an additional $100,000 bonus. And Jamie McMurray will come second in that battle, coming home in 8th place. 9th place. Ryan Newman will come home in 10th, right in your top 10. But how about that? Travis Quaffle wins his debut in the Daytona 500 in that Kodak Dodge. Gets it down the last lap pass on Kyle Petty. You see the race results on the left side of your screen. Unfortunately, Jimmy Johnson, some of those guys DNF'd out of the race. But how about that? Travis Quaffle wins. And all because of the lap car and Martin Truex Jr. holding up Kyle Busch changed this entire race. We'll see the updated playoff grid momentarily. Now you have to play off grid. Of course, it's only after one race, so we can't really take much from this. This will, of course, wildly change until we really get to the quarter point of the season. Then we'll start getting who our real contenders are. But, of course, Travis Quaffle, with that win, he's in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. He will fight for a title. You see everyone else there throughout the grid. And as I said, it will change next couple of weeks. So until the next episode for race number 2 of the season, probably out west, I hope you all have a good one.